The second leadership idea we will examine is a basic model of situational leadership, a spectrum of leadership styles. This is a simple model which shows the relationship between the level of freedom that a leader chooses to give people and the level of authority used by the leader. As the team's freedom is increased, so the leader's authority decreases. As you know, as a leader, one of your responsibilities is to develop your team. You can only enable others to grow by allowing your people to take on responsibility for their own work. At this end of the spectrum, the leader has all the authority and makes all the decisions. The leader directs all activity and the team plays no active part in the decision-making process. When using this style of leadership, the team may well perceive that the leader has not considered the team's welfare at all. There are only rare instances where this level of control is useful to anyone. When a manager chooses this style of leadership for any significant length of time, they remove any form of responsibility from the people for the activity. So, if they are not there to ask for action, none will happen, and people will lose the ability to think and act for themselves. At the other end of the spectrum, the team directs all activities and makes all decisions. This is obviously an extreme level of freedom, where the team is effectively doing what the leader was at the other end of the spectrum. The leader may or may not be part of the team, and if so, they may not have any more authority than anyone else on the team. This level is potentially the most motivational of all, but also potentially the most disastrous. With total freedom, the team may busy themselves with priorities that differ to the organisation's needs and ultimately fail. In the middle of the spectrum, freedom and authority is shared between the leader and the team. Decisions are made in participation with the team. This more involving approach enables the team to appreciate the issues and reasons for the decision and the implications of all the options. It enables the team to have some real influence over the shape of the leader's final decision. It also acknowledges that the team has something to contribute to the decision-making process, which is more involving and therefore more motivating. You may ask yourself, where is my leadership style on this spectrum? Am I stuck in one area, and what is the impact of that? The truth is that there are instances where a leader must work at the authoritarian end. For example, if there is a fire, the leader will push people out of the building, not ask for ideas about the best escape route. There are also situations where giving complete freedom to the team to make decisions is an option. For example, where a need for true creativity exists. However, both of these situations are rare, and many managers spend their time hovering around in the middle of this spectrum. True leadership is about establishing where you and your team are now and planning a journey to the freedom end of the spectrum, where you can make the best use of the capability and intelligence available to you from your people. You should delegate and ask the team to make its own decisions to varying degrees according to their abilities. Each step in the journey is a risk. By giving more freedom, you are relinquishing control, but retaining responsibility for outcomes. But risk-taking is part of being a leader, trying something new, growing. This will enrich the roles of your people and increase their capability. Over time, a leader should aim to take the team from one end of the spectrum to the other. This process can take a year or two or even longer, so be patient, explain what you're doing, and be constantly aware of how your team is responding and developing. Remember, irrespective of the amount of responsibility and freedom delegated by a leader to the team, the leader retains accountability for any catastrophic problems that may result. Delegating freedom and decision-making responsibility to a team absolutely does not absolve the leader of accountability. That's why delegating, whether to teams or individuals, requires a very grown-up leader. If everything goes well, the team must get the credit. If it all goes horribly wrong, the leader must take the blame. And this is entirely fair because the leader is ultimately responsible for judging the seriousness of any given situation, including the risks entailed and the level of freedom that can safely be granted to the team to deal with it.